Hey guys, welcome back. This is a Hub 3 update. Now, we've all been waiting for that miraculous update from Virgin, which will enable all the parts that we want to work. This isn't it, unfortunately. So last week, my unit started updating. I had this message on my screen for about 6 hours, and when I woke up the next morning, I decided to go in and have a look and see what has changed. Now, obviously, according to the sources that I have, we are looking for an alteration to the software version, but unfortunately that isn't the case. It's still the same. But I did notice that there had been some alterations here. Now, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you'll know that when the Hub 3 originally came out, all this looked blocked and broken. Now, that was something to do with an error, a fault within the system, but it seems that this update has fixed that, and now this information is displaying as you would expect. It's still dock SIS 3.0 compatible, and the telephone, as you may have spotted earlier, is still not active. So what on earth has changed? Now, I'm a bit confused because the firmware hasn't altered at all, but there have been some changes. So let's try port forwarding and see if it works. This is my IP address. No, I need to check my IP address. 1 second. Okay, so I'm 17 at the moment. So I'll just type that in and try some port forwarding. It doesn't really matter because I'm not actively going to use this port. This is merely a test. So enter everything the same and add. Now, it took a little while to apply changes, but I'll speed that up for you. And you can see that it's now in the port forwarding list at the bottom. So if we go to an online port forwarding test site, we can then test. I'll apply changes, just because I don't know if you need to do that for the Hub 3 or not. But we'll go and check those ports now externally and see if it's fixed it. Okay, so you can see here that the port 2252 is still closed, which is not what we were hoping to see. Just for argument's sake, I will test another port. Now, one thing I do need to do with my Hub 3 is open up port 25 so I can use my FTP server, but it turns out you cannot do that, as that's a restricted port from Virgin Media, so you may have seen these before. So I'm just going to select one random port, let's say 180, and I'll enter that in here. We'll apply those changes. Now, on this occasion, my Hub 3 hung completely, and I had to refresh the page. Interestingly, when I did refresh the page, port 180 was not in the port forwarding list, but then all of a sudden, without me touching anything, the router updated, and as if by magic, port 180 was in the port forwarding list. So, okay, fair enough. Let's go test that externally and see if that works. That's a negative, unfortunately. So there are people who have successfully had port forwarding work, and I'm very grateful to those people for commenting on the forum. Let's hope that the update is still coming. Now, I'm curious as to what this update has actually fixed. So if you have yourself experienced that and you've identified that some part of the Hub 3 is working in a way that it didn't before, initially I thought the pages were loading a bit faster, but that seems not to be the case. So I really don't know how exactly an update has been performed to fix the info within admin, but the firmware version has not changed. So I'm a little confused as to how that works, but that seems to be what's happened. So still waiting for the firmware update for the port forwarding to work, and watch this space, I guess. Thanks very much, guys. Take care. Goodbye for now.